I have Scott Zucker joining me. I'm Iris Segan, president of the Storage Business Owners Alliance, better known as the SBOA. And today we are, excuse me, we have some insights straight from the show floor covering the biggest topics shaping the self-storage industry right now. So, Scott, how are you today?
Good.
So nice to see
nice
you.
to be here.
You having a good show?
It's so funny that we're doing this in the middle of the trade show floor.
Right?
It's pretty crazy. It's a lot of
wild.
activity going out there, and here we are having our conversation. It's pretty
We have a
energetic.
nice cozy living room.
Yes,
so,
very nice.
We're all good. Scott is the co-founder of the Self-Storage Legal Network. So, Scott, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, again, thanks for having me on here. And the Self-Storage Legal Network is a legal information service that's available to members of the Self-Storage Association, both the national members and the state affiliate members. It was created by Carlos Cosgrove, and we're in our over 25 years of providing legal information services to self-storage owners and operators through the member benefit of the National Self-Storage Association. It's been a fun ride working with operators around the country, answering their questions, giving them information to keep them out of trouble.
You guys do a great service to the industry, and we all appreciate you. In fact, tomorrow, I've noticed pretty much every show, they try to end with you speaking. I think it's to keep people hanging out at the show till the very end, and I can see why, because you're a very dynamic, engaging speaker. And I love coming to your presentations.
It's the power hour.
It's the legal power hour. How can you just get you revved up to go home or spend the rest of the weekend in Orlando, right? So tell us a little bit tomorrow, what can attendees expect if they come to the power hour?
So think of the power hour, here we are in Orlando, as a Disney ride, with the goal of giving a little bit of information to attendees with regard to legislative updates and case law updates that affect self-storage operators around the country. And then it's really an open Q&A session for folks to be able to ask their questions, get some input from myself, and actually Joe Doherty, who's the general counsel for the National Self-Storage Association, is stepping in for Carlos tomorrow. And so he'll be able to give a really great update on legislative issues in the industry. And then it's really fun to just have that Q&A opportunity.
What do you see as the biggest challenges for legal issues right now for operators?
Yeah, I'm a little frightened and disappointed in a lot of ways that we're seeing so much legislation that's I would call anti-self-storage, because there are concerns primarily in two focused issues. One on rent control with respect to having a governmental limitation on what operators can charge in terms of rent and rent increases to their customers. And the second one is the sort of the liability risk of how operators advertise and price their units. So there's a lot of pressure on operators. It's literally a minefield of how they operate their business now that could be subject to regulatory and governmental scrutiny that could result in violations against them. So we really want to educate folks to learn what's happening out there and to stay out of trouble. That's really been the guiding force for the legal network all along, is to make sure people are educated to avoid trouble.
And so if people join the legal network, doesn't matter what state they're in, you have people who can give them advice based on their location?
Right, it's all about legal information. So, as you know, there are 50 states plus the District of Columbia plus Puerto Rico. Each has their own different self-storage statute. Alaska's a little different by itself. But so we get calls and Q&A questions, email questions from operators in every state. And what they're looking for is informational guidance. And we can direct them to that information. And the problem is, and I think the difficulty of our industry a little bit, is that it's a regulated industry. And legislators, who often are lawyers, write these laws, and they're very complicated. And sometimes you need to talk through understanding the laws with other people, and that's what we're there for. So we get a lot of calls just for guidance to understand what the laws say and how they're supposed to operate their businesses. And again, every state is different.
Right.
So we work with operators in every state who have their questions.
And that's another great reason for people to join their state association
Yes.
and not just the national association.
Right.
I think it's really important to have both for that backup information, because national is not going to tell you what's going on in your state, right?
No, well, they do a great job. I mean, the legal folks with the National SSA have done a great job as a member benefit of having an information center to provide a certain amount of guidance. But reading it on a piece of paper sometimes doesn't give you the answers that you need. Talking it through with a lawyer that understands the industry and the elements, well, it's just, and we feel like it creates value for operators to have a resource like that. And it's been a tremendous value for folks. In fact, for many years, it was considered, and I think still is, a strong member benefit of being part of the National Association or their state association affiliated agencies.
Definitely. Well, great. And so do you see a lot of changing rental agreements in the state legislations?
Well, if anything that we talk about is understanding how important rental agreements are in the self-storage business.
Yes.
From an operator's perspective, it is the sort of the guiding document for the relationship between the operator and its tenant. So a good rental agreement, an updated rental agreement, a rental agreement that has the statutory language that's required by the state law in the rental agreement is so key. We have to recognize that there is a large plaintiff's bar of class action lawyers that are out there that make a business looking for operators that make mistakes. And one way to defend against those risks is by having a good rental agreement and being updated on the operational elements of running your self-storage business. That those operators that haven't taken the time to update their rental agreements are really the number one targets for these plaintiffs that could bring claims.
Right. The protection is key,
Yeah,
and we'll
really,
be talking about that with our insurance group in a little bit too. You just
law and insurance tie hand in hand because we can only do so much, and it doesn't stop the fact that there's always an inevitability of claims being brought or things happening out there, and so you have to have the insurance side as well as the legal side to protect you.
Definitely. And so I was just going to say that, and I think you talked a little bit about advertising and pricing their units online. Anything else people should be kind of aware of in the digital landscape today?
Well, it's such a big issue. I mean, we talk about the issues of junk fees and drip pricing topically as being careful of how you market the pricing of your facility rental units. But it's a much bigger issue. We're hearing about the transparency that should be involved in operating a self-storage business to a customer who may only learn about your business through an online marketing program, or that they're even renting only via an online resource. So the connect of how that unit is priced, whether it's a discounted price at the time it's being rented and what the new price will be, is really important. So what we learn from these topics, like the junk fees and the drip pricing, is all about transparency and disclosures and communicating between the operator and its tenant, so that they're not surprised about any of the fees or charges that are involved in their occupancy of the facility.
Definitely, we hear about that all the time. Transparency is key. Surprises, not having surprises is also key, right? Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants it.
Once you've prepared someone, they're very accepting of changes when they do happen.
Right. I think that a customer that comes in, even if they get a good discount price on the front end, understand that it's expensive to run a self-storage facility, especially with technology and security and cost of insurance, cost of manpower and labor. I mean, rates, the rental rates will be impacted by those costs. Otherwise, no one can run a business. So as long as they understand the pressures that are on the operator when they're trying to offer a good service of their business, I think customers are prepared to pay for the value of what they're getting.
Absolutely. And all these legal challenges are why it is so important for operators to stay informed.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm excited to tell everyone that you're going to join us for a webinar April 3rd.
Yep.
That's Self-Storage Unlocked in, gosh, 3-4 weeks.
Right,
It's right around the corner.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about some of those details. Hopefully Carlos will be joining you then. We'll see. And we're going to cover some of the biggest legal topics affecting self-storage, including those legislative updates, arbitration agreements, online advertising risks, and compliance with service members in the Civil Release Act.
Yep. Another big topic, absolutely.
Right. So I want to let everybody.
These are all the landmines I was talking about.
Exactly.
Self-storage should be a simple business, and oftentimes it feels like it is, but the legal obligations of an operator are extensive. And so every topic you just mentioned that we're going to talk about on April 3rd is something that operators who want to run a good business and stay out of trouble need to pay attention to. So whether it's program like what we're doing on the 3rd, whether they're here at the show and can come to the Power Hour, I mean, I really encourage you guys to just continue to stay attuned to what's happening in the industry and learn from, not only from us and from your guests that are going to educate them on other issues, but talk to other operators about what they're doing and make sure that the high tide raises all boats. So we do everything right, and we're a better industry for it.
Absolutely. It's going to be incredibly valuable to anyone who can attend. Any Power Hour that you have at any show, it would be great for them. Any of your sessions, online or in person. You just offer so much service to our industry, and we all appreciate you. I can't wait. So make sure if you are online and you want to see that, sign up, get registered. We'll have that registration up today for Eventbrite. And Scott, this has been really insightful. Just for a quick recap, your session, the Self-Storage Legal Network's Legal Power Hour is tomorrow, Friday at 10 a.m. So if you are at the conference, don't miss the chance to ask your legal questions to Scott while he's here. He's also, you don't want to miss a live presentation from Scott because he's great. And operators can get the legal guidance year-round by joining the Self-Storage Legal Network. And don't forget to register for our upcoming Self-Storage Unlocked webinar on April 3rd. Scott, do you have any final words of advice for operators navigating today's legal landscape?
You know, I think what the SBOA is doing to try to help to educate people is important. The SSA, what they're doing. I think that the key lesson for everybody is just to, look, if they're here, we're preaching to the choir. People are here because they want to learn. They want to make sure that they're doing the best job they can in operating their facility. If you're not here, tune in on the 3rd, or otherwise, please look up the Self-Storage Legal Network. It's www.selfstoragelaw.com, and join us as members and try to stay out of trouble.
That's great advice. Scott, thank you so much for kicking off our show today. And we will see you I'll see you tomorrow, but I'll also see you on the 3rd. And thank you again for everything you do for our great industry.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody.
insurance and how SBOA is evolving to to better serve facility owners and operators. So joining me now are David Myers. He is the Vice President of Operations and Head of Self-Storage at Alchemy Insurance Solutions. And we have Summer Wilson here. She is Director of Brokerage Operations at Alchemy Insurance Solutions. So welcome to you both. Thank you so much for joining me live today. I mean, we're sharing a booth, so I get to see you anyway, but now I get to share you with everyone else out in self-storage land. So I want to start with our big announcement, and that is the launch of SBOA Insurance Services. So this is a new product that really just launched maybe a few weeks ago. We're really announcing it today as our big trade show announcement, amongst other things. It's an exciting expansion that brings together multiple insurance solutions under one umbrella. So SBOA Insurance Services now encompasses SBOA tenant insurance and commercial insurance offerings. Summer, can you walk us through what type of coverage is now available under SBOA Insurance Services?
Sure. So now available under SBOA Insurance Services are all commercial lines coverages. So property, casualty, we cover it from the gambit. And it's a really unique opportunity because we are one of the only insurance brokers that is by self-storage for self-storage, specifically tailored to fit the needs of self-storage operators and owners.
Awesome. And David, I think with SBOA Insurance Services now overseeing the broader scope of insurance products, what does that mean for self-storage owners who already are working with SBOA TI?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the message to our operators is that we're doubling down on self-storage. So everyone that works on SBOA TI right now considers it an honor and a privilege to be in this industry and work with these great operators. So now that the TI program is so successful because of the great service that we have, we're looking really to expand that into commercial space, which is a big pain point for operators right now.
Oh, definitely. And self-storage is a unique industry with very specific needs. Like Scott was just talking about legal, all of the legalese and things that change across the country, in different states all the time. And so our owners really need that really great service and protection that you all offer. And so Summer, why is it having a dedicated self-storage insurance provider so valuable?
Yeah, that's a great question, Iris. We feel like we offer something different. Having a dedicated self-storage professional is really a game changer because we know what you need. And sometimes it's a little scary when you own a business, you start a venture, you don't know what you need.
Right.
So it's really helpful to have someone that specializes in the industry, specializes in your business. And, with our partnership with the SSA, we have actual operators and owners that are doing the same thing that our customers do. Right? So we create customized insurance solutions to give you exactly what you need. And we also grow with you. So as our owners and our participants are going into new arenas, establishing new businesses, we're unique in that we can cover all of them. So we cover your real estate development, we can cover your farm, your hobby farm, and your self-storage facilities. So that offers some kind of trust in relationship value. So you only have one person for all of your insurance needs versus typically people can have up to 5 insurance brokers for all of their different business ventures.
Oh yeah, the one-stop shopping and having the comfort of knowing the SBOA name, 12 years running ISS Best of Business. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But I do want to move on and talk about another major development, and that is Cornerstone Insurance Producers has rebranded to Alchemy Insurance Solutions. This marks a new chapter for a company that has been a leader in self-storage insurance for years. David, what led to the decision to rebrand, and what does it mean for your customers?
Sure. So, as we at Cornerstone have been growing over the last couple of years, we realized the name Cornerstone Insurance Producers, the producers particularly, did not best reflect our position in the insurance market as a niche program administrator for specialty insurance.
Right.
So, last year we had a record tenant insurance year, and we have kind of done that every year.
Right.
But not only in tenant insurance, but we've ventured into new markets as well and been very successful there. We're looking to enter additional markets throughout the year as well. So this rebrand was really about positioning ourselves in the insurance market to best meet that growth need.
Excellent. And so with the name and the logo have changed, but the team and services remain the same. So can you talk a little bit about how this transition impacts self-storage operators? Should they expect any changes in how they work with you?
Sure. So the short answer is no changes to the self-storage operators and how we're going to work with them. We've always had our roots in self-storage as a company, and we're really looking to just deepen those roots. We're more committed than ever to this industry. So our service is only going to expand, and it's not going the other way. So from a tenant insurance perspective, we're going to provide the same excellent service that we always have, and we're running that into the commercial space. And by the way, everyone's going to love summer.
Oh, they are.
Such a wealth of knowledge.
I agree
And,
completely.
I just can't wait for people to meet her and find solutions for her.
Definitely.
It's going to be excellent.
Yeah, I want to definitely share. I'd love to share something about the team as well that I personally found unique and valuable. I've been in insurance for 26 years. I've worked on so many different types of accounts with different services, and this team knows what they're doing and they genuinely care.
They do. I totally agree. And we hear that. We hear that all the time. We're having a little technical difficulty, guys. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Did you hear what I said or no? Okay, so I'll repeat that. So I said one of the things that I find really unique and valuable that's definitely worth talking about and taking a moment to just take note of is this team. I've been in insurance for 26 years. I've run brokerages. I owned an insurance carrier. This team is unique and they're very special. Everyone on the team genuinely cares about what they're doing, and they kind of bring the old school values back to insurance. Insurance is a necessary evil in everybody's business portfolio, but doing business with people that you like, that people that actually care about you, and people that answer their phones is definitely worth taking note of. I too bring those same values. You can call me. I answer my phone. I answer my cell phone. We're all very, very easy to get a hold of and really invested in growing with our partners. So
Absolutely.
I think that's definitely really a value.
And being at a booth with you guys, it just highlights all of what you just said, because I hear people all throughout the day as they come by, and they're so impressed with you. And you guys see people and you come out and you know their names, you know their business names, you know where they're from, and you don't get that everywhere. And you're a huge coverage. I mean, you have so many companies, but you know every customer who comes up here and you remember them. And I think that is so important and impressive. You have a great team. Both of you do. And one of the things that I love about the rebrand name is alchemy. It represents transformation, expertise, creating something greater. What message do you want to send to self-storage operators as Alchemy Insurance Solutions moves forward?
Yeah. So I think the message is that this industry is our heart. It's the core of our value proposition as a company. Even as we look to expand, self-storage is really essentially who we are. And we're going to continue to be that best-in-class tenant insurance product. But we're also going to look at ways that we can improve that value proposition to our participants in the program and operators through commercial self-storage as well. So it's important to note too that the same account managers who serve the tenant insurance participants are going to be serving as account managers on the commercial space.
Right.
So you're going to have and there are service experts. They do such a great job in the tenant insurance product, and they're one of the main reasons behind the success of that program. I get compliments day in and day out about the quality service there. So you're going to see that on the commercial space through that, with Summer at the helm, kind of running that side of things. And, the main beneficiary of that is our operator, because you're going to have the service coming from the account managers, and you're going to have the insurance expertise behind with Summer. it's just it's an excellent combination. We're so excited.
Oh, definitely. Seamless and expertise and friendly, wonderful personal service. I mean, you can't beat that. That's a great combination. And now I want to move on and talk about the thing I'm really excited about, and that is SBOA and SBOA Insurance Services are now officially part of the same great organization. A lot of people kind of thought we were already. So it was a natural evolution of a long-standing relationship that we've had together. David, what do you think, what would you say led to the decision for this formalization of partnership, and why was it the right time?
Yeah, so as the industry is moving very quickly with AI and technology being in the forefront of every new service and value add that's out there, we really SBOA is so well positioned to kind of dive in and be that vendor partner. So I think you're gonna really be able to see and provide the resources, through education and risk assessments on the insurance side, and also just looking at ways that we can add value and increase that NOI through product innovation. So
Yes.
We're really excited, and obviously we love working with you guys.
Right, yeah. I feel like we're already partners. It's just, again, it's that formalization. Sort of like we've been living together, but we finally tied the knot.
Right.
And the partnership is deeply rooted in our leadership. Ian Bernstein is well known in the self-storage industry, and he co-founded both of our companies, SBOA Tenant Insurance, and he remains a key stakeholder in the partnership. He's still very involved. His vision played a huge role in bringing the organizations together. SBOA Insurance Services remains the same trusted resource that all of the self-storage operators, now, but we have an expanded role. So Summer, can you talk about what's staying the same and what, if anything, will be different operationally?
Sure, Iris. I think that it's really key to understand that we listen to our members. You asked and we responded. During this convention, I've had the opportunity to meet in person so many of our members, and we've got so many new ideas for additional products and value-added services to add. So I think the key thing is communicate with us. We listen to you. We care what you say. We're gonna respond. So you're not just talking into a black hole. We're going to respond. So, we don't have the time to tease up everything that we have coming, but I definitely encourage anyone watching, reach out to me directly. I'd love to hear from you, and I can tell you specifically what we can do for your particular situation and organization, because everyone's different. So what's staying the same team, same service. What's different is we're just giving you more. Many of our members were tired of having to call 5 different people for solutions, really wanted to know how they could maximize their insurance policy to protect their businesses, not only to protect their businesses, but to respond to needs that were sent to them or provided by lenders for them. So we work with lenders, we respond to the lenders' requirements and to their needs. And we have quite a few value-added services. So where one broker might just offer you insurance policy, we're just committed to giving you more.
Yeah, that's wonderful. SBOA and SBOA Insurance Services, we've always had a strong working relationship. Now that we're officially under one umbrella, we have the opportunity to think bigger and bring even more value to the industry, like you were just saying. So what should operators expect from us in the months and years ahead, David?
Yeah, so I think it's all those things that we've been saying about broadening our reach into the industry while keeping our core service. I think customer service is the essence of who we are as an organization, and working with SBOA, so we have an insurance product that is highly competitive, first of all, but also excellent service. Working with the SBOA, where you guys are that matchmaker of vendor to operator, and where everyone needs insurance, as Summer said earlier, it's a necessary evil. So we're here to make it a little less painful for everyone and really provide a good service and value.
That's
And
wonderful.
that's what's coming.
Right. And while the merger, it doesn't change the way operators interact with SBOA Insurance Services or with the SBOA, it does allow us to be more intentional, more strategic in how we support the self-storage business. David, what does it mean for our long-term vision and industry impact?
Yeah, I think it means that we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to be in this industry. We're going to, just as the tenant insurance is highly successful, I think we're going to see that very quickly, with this new offering on the commercial side. And we're going to just essentially, the team that's behind this is going to further, establish, and we're going to understand the needs of our customers, and we're going to provide that excellent service.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have any final words, Summer? Anything else you want to mention before we go?
We're all having a good time.
Yeah.
So sorry for all of you that
Yes.
couldn't be here, that you're not here. You are missed. We're having a great time. And everybody who is here, if you're watching this, definitely stop by and see us at booth 700. We can't wait to see you. Love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching.
Booth 707.
707. Don't go to 700. Go to
Yeah,
707.
707. You'll see that big blue and white booth. We're here. You can't miss us. And I do also want to mention, I mentioned a little bit earlier, you guys are up for year 13 in a row of Best in Business for ISS. So I want to remind everyone to go in and vote. We have until the end of the month, but do it today before you forget. So get in there, vote. If you've worked with these guys, you already know they're the best in business. They have been for the 12 years running. So make sure you get in there and vote for them. Also, stop by our booth and you will, if you submit a form, tell me what it is. Tell them what they could win today. David.
It's amazing.
You can win $1,000 cash just by getting a quote. So
yeah,
get a quote with us, and you're submitted. We're gonna have a drawing, and $1,000 could be yours.
Yeah. So get in here by 2:30. Submit your request for quote, and see if you can win that $1,000 prize. Thank you both so much for joining me live today. I know
thank you for
it's a
having
little nerve-wracking. We haven't done this before, and I was late, so we made it work. Getting everything set up, teamwork makes the dream work, and that's really what we're talking about today, right? So I'm really excited that we are formally partnered. I'm excited to meet you, Summer, and you've just been fabulous, and I know everyone's going to be so happy with you at the helm. So thank you again. And next up, we're going to meet Dan Cosgrove from our mystery shopping program. Before we finish up today, I'm going to shift gears one more time, and I want to talk about another critical piece of the self-storage operations, and that is mystery shopping and internal audits. So one of the best ways for self-storage operators to stay competitive is to understand how their facility performs in the real world, how customers see their facilities, and that's where mystery shopping comes in, which is also where Dan Cosgrove comes in. He is from Mercantile Systems Incorporated, and he's here to discuss how operators can evaluate and improve their customer experience. Stick around. Excuse me. I'm a little behind. I'm having more technical issues. Everybody just saw the video, Dan, and they can see some of what mystery shopping is about. And I'm really excited to bring you here because you're the expert. So tell everybody, you know, what is so important? Why do people want that performance evaluation?
Yeah, you know, it comes down to what gets measured gets done. And, you know, that's what it's, whether it's mystery shopping or looking at data or whatever, but if you want something to get done, you got to measure it. And there's been, you know, mystery shopping has been a wonderful tool to measure that guest experience. So here's what happens is we hire employees, we train employees, and we think they're going to do what we train them to do. But what happens is they get their own other ideas, and not because they're trying to be disruptive. It's just because they get busy with so many things that we're asking them to do. And then they start taking things into their own hands in their service that they want and how they deem it. And it falls off usually dramatically from what you're asking them to do.
Yeah, and mystery shopping isn't new in the self-storage industry, but our mystery shopping program, really your mystery shopping program, but it's the SBOA mystery shopping program, it has evolved significantly over just the last 6 months. You brought in AI. So Dan, tell us what mystery shopping is and why it's such a valuable tool with the AI for self-storage operators.
Yeah, I mean, we all hear AI, and some people freak out about it, and some, and understanding it's all different. You know, AI has been around a long, long time, which we don't realize. But what's been big in AI is generative AI, and so that's been allowing us to do these things like we take recordings of videos of our mystery shops, or we take your audio recordings from your call center and we plug them into the AI. We use your KPIs, your sales book, and we generate custom videos based on that. And I'm not talking keywords and set of metrics anymore. It's totally different, and it's custom to that interaction. And then when you layer on role practice, which actually is interactions based around those conversations, where a team member could literally say, hey, stop, I want to do this. And the AI will know it and have a whole conversation. It's game-changing stuff.
It's amazing. And when people see, you know, your mystery shop and then the AI follow-up, it's always jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, I've seen it a number of times. It's still jaw-dropping for me. And I love watching other people being introduced to it. How you have that speaker, it's just so people know when they watch that video in our intro, that's an AI-generated person who is basically now training individually your employees. Like, that is just fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, you think about toll takers and things like, we don't have that anymore. And what we really don't need is somebody listening to audio of calls.
Right.
Because the AI will do it better, quicker, more accurately, even as well as set of metrics and everything or how they're speaking. So it's amazing when you see it.
Right. And it can detect sentiment and tone.
Yeah.
Tell people about that.
Yeah, because again, we're not talking about just listening for words and are they friendly or gaps. It can detect the tone, and it can go so far as saying, not that they have to be jovial and overly friendly. It's like, was that a professional conversation? Because we aren't all the same, right? Some people are really jovial, some are very data driven, and that can all be really good sales and guest experience. And the AI can understand that. We can program it to understand what you're looking for, and it works really, really well.
It really does. Yeah. It's amazing. And our mystery shopping program isn't just about evaluating employees. It's about improving the entire customer journey. What kind of real world improvements have you seen operators make based on these insights?
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. You know, we go back to what gets measured gets done. And so with using mystery shopping, and when you're surveying on what you want the guest experience to be, we're going to come back and be able to tell you exactly where your team members are doing well and where they're not. And I can guarantee you with about 95% certainty, they're not doing well around closing, because that's the area they always challenge with. They have a problem mentally with it. They sell on price because that's just human nature. But the reality is that's not what it is. Yeah, but anyway, the point is when you're doing this, you're going to be able to come back and use data to say, listen, here's where we need to focus our training. You can pinpoint training rather than shotgun approach, which is what a lot of times we do when we think we know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And one key area that mystery shopping highlights is how well facilities are responding to those leads and inquiries. With AI, how do the operators ensure they are following up effectively to maximize conversions?
Yeah, beyond the AI part, I mean, here's the other thing. So when we're mystery shopping, we're full circle, meaning it could be a phone call down to how they dealt with it. Did that get logged into your CRM? And everybody's using a CRM and paying big bucks for it. And if those leads aren't getting to your CRM, walk-ins, phones, webs, and you're looking at data and making decisions, well, you're looking at bad data. So what we need to do is make sure those leads are getting in the CRM, and you do that by measuring it. We do that by verifying it's in there, and then you can ensure that. And I can also guarantee you another thing, that if you aren't measuring that in some way, less than probably half your leads are making it into your CRM. That's the ones that you got to manually input.
Yeah, and nobody, especially in the climate we have right now, can afford to lose even one lead, let alone half.
When you look at what it costs for a lead, I've heard numbers as high as $800 to get the phone to ring. It's a no-brainer to say, let's see if that's getting put in the CRM.
Right. We just talked to insurance. It's really kind of insurance of making sure you don't lose anybody, right? And it doesn't just benefit corporate offices. It also is a great training tool for the on-site managers. How do facility managers use the program to develop their teams?
Yeah, and I'll always say this, it's a carrot and not a stick. And the most proactive companies and the ones providing the best service are where their team members want to be shopped and their district managers are engaged. And so now picture a district manager that has a report that shows them exactly how that experience was with that team member, even an audio recording based around that. And they can sit down with that team member and say, here's the things you did really, really well. And here's the things that we want to work on. And now it's factual. It takes out the guesswork. It takes out all the assumptions. And it's unbiased. And so it's all right in front of them. And by doing that enough, you're going to naturally elevate your experience.
Absolutely. And we are having a great conversation here at booth 707,
707
in SSA Orlando. We'll be here until 2:30 today. But for those of you that wanted to get even a deeper dive into the topic, we are hosting a webinar. You're actually going to be on our next webinar, March 27th, Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And we're going to focus on AI-powered training and operational improvements. Do you want to give people sort of a preview of what they can expect at that webinar?
Yeah. Well, it'll be 8 o'clock my time because I'm on the West Coast.
Right.
So I always appreciate these early meetings. But I will be pumped up on caffeine. So what we will go over is we'll look at a lot of things. We're going to look at how we collect the data. We're going to look at the system itself. We're going to look at the AI on how we're doing that, how we're going to be able to say, take your employees and grab way more than just one experience and how do they perform. And then we're going to look at, and we're going to show videos of actual training videos that are custom made to those encounters. And then we'll actually do just-in-time role practice where you'll see interacting with the AI, and we'll do some modifications and some playing around with it. And you'll see how dynamic it is. So I think you'll dig it.
I haven't seen that particular demonstration yet, so I'm really excited for it. Everybody, make sure you register. It is free, and it's open right now on Eventbrite. We'll put the link in the chat. So you'll be able to get to the webinar and you won't miss anything by watching it live once again. So sign up for, it's called AI Just-in-Time Training on Eventbrite with SBOA, Self-Storage Unlocked. I'll get it right. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. You are at booth, you're sharing the booth with us and with our insurance services. So once again, everybody, you can stop by, register to win. You can still possibly register or win a ticket to our Sharks dinner tonight. We're having dinner with the Sharks at SeaWorld Orlando. That's kind of exciting and fun. We have a few tickets left that we're going to give away. We also have the $1,000 gift card that David mentioned earlier if you submit a quote or a request for quote of insurance. And before you go, Dan, what is the best way or best thing for people to take advantage of the mystery shopping program?
Contact SBOA and reach out to them through the website. You can actually sign up. We've put it on there with them, so you can actually purchase and sign up for mystery shops there. reach out to Iris or Leah, and then they'll get in touch with me if you need to talk about something different. But yeah, go through them and we'll get it all taken care of.
Absolutely. And special bonus, if you are an SBOA VIP member, that's new. We'll talk about that too. You get an exclusive 10% discount on your mystery shopping services or your internal audit programs. We didn't have a chance to talk about that today, but we will definitely be talking about that later. So if you're not a VIP member yet, visit thesboa.com/membership. We do have a half off special going right now, and you can find the code on our website. So this has been a great program, I think, for any operator who is looking to stay ahead of the competition, improve the customer experience. And thank you so much, Dan, for sharing your expertise today. It's always a pleasure to see you, and Val, I do too. One final reminder, if you did not vote yet for your favorite ISS vendor, make sure you go in today, vote for SBOATI, vote for all of your favorites. There's great companies in there like XPS. We have Universal Storage Group. I know they're going to win. They'll win. Storables in there. I know everybody loves their software. And that will wrap up things for today. Thank you, Dan.
Absolutely.
I want to thank Summer and David, and of course, Scott, who was here earlier. And most of all, I want to thank our audience for joining us today, because this would not be possible without you. Have a great day, everybody. And if you have the chance in Orlando, come and see us before 2:30. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Iris.